Caryl Soucy had just dropped her son off at school when she heard what she thought was her tire going flat. She found the first place to stop to check out what was happening to her vehicle, which happened to be a vacant parking lot. As she was outside of her car looking at her tire, a man took notice and decided to approach. Now, she'll never look at things the same way again. By the time Caryl Soucy got to the empty parking lot, she could feel that she was driving on her rim after all the air had been deflated from the tire. It was the last thing she needed that morning since she had a busy day and relied on her only vehicle, but she was confident that she could fix it and be on her way. This morning after I dropped my son off at school, I heard my tire go and knew I was driving on my rim. I quickly pulled over into the Vacant parking lot and began to assess the situation, she recalled. In a social media post about the incident, Caryl explained that after she pulled into the Vacant parking lot, her day would completely change in a way she least expected, and she learned something that morning that she wants others to take from her experience. I pulled out the worst jack on earth in my T-bar and tried to start changing my tire, she wrote, noting that this was what she was doing when a car pulled in beside her out of the blue. While struggling with the repair and inadequate tools, a local police officer, only identified as Officer Clark, tapped Caryl on the shoulder and said he would take over from there. She didn't see him coming and hadn't called for help, but he didn't hesitate to get right in there and take over where she desperately needed someone to lend a helping hand. Before I knew it, a police officer pulled in and came over and started helping. He didn't even ask if I needed help or what happened, he just started helping me, said the impressed mother who has never experienced such an act of simple kindness like this from a complete stranger. He changed my flat faster than I've ever seen someone change one, and considering the tools I had for him to work with, it was quite impressive. His name was Officer Clark, Caryl Soucy added in her post, sharing photos of the police officer while he was hard at work helping her. In a matter of minutes, her day was made better simply because the cop happened to pass by at the right time and saw an opportunity to do something for someone else when most wouldn't bother with other people's problems. Officer Clark, however, didn't hesitate to stop what he was doing to painstakingly tackle a task that he didn't have to do if he didn't want to do it. Police officers get so much unnecessary flack from people who have probably passed by many people just like Caryl, but they are the first to criticize a cop for anything and everything they do or don't do. In a moment of frustration and having no expectations, Caryl Soucy was changed by this simple service that took a stranger just a few minutes of his day, but it meant the world to this single mother. Please share this around so that he will know what his kindness and compassion meant to me, and also so others in our community can see that there are many good cops out there protecting and serving our community. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Officer Clark, Caryl wrote in her post, hoping to inspire others to appreciate and respect our officers as well as bless someone's day if they can.